Hey guys, um, I'm trying this new concoction, the green drink with vegetables, and we have a juicer. And I said, let's try it. So we put some celery and some pickles, and and what is it, ginger and spinach and apple, little squirt of lemon. See how it tastes. Not bad. You can drink it. It's green. Believe me, it's super green. And I like spinach, but I don't eat a pound of spinach to get the good nutrients from it. And then this is healthy, so I'll drink it. And then I'm gonna smoke a cigar, which is unhealthy. Does that make any sense? And this is half because the cigar is like that, you know. And I said, no, I'm not gonna. That's too much. So I snapped it really sharp, and I'm gonna burn it on this side. Now, uh, let me give you an update on the boat. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of everything. The update on the boat. We dropped the engine 3 days ago, 5 days ago. We dropped it in. We attached it to the tranny. I put all the, not all, but I put some of the exterior parts. You know, the pulleys and the fuel pump and the salt water pump and all that. And then Friday I'm gonna go and install the brackets, water tank, the carburetor, the hoses, and then the mechanic's gonna come on Saturday and start connecting the exhaust, because I said I could do the exhaust. He says no, we have to use this 510 uh, uh, silicone type of material, sealer. I said, what's that for? He goes, well, it's a high temperature, and that's what you use on your exhaust gaskets. And I said, I've never done it, and I've done several exhaust installation. So we're gonna do that, and then I said, well, I want to install the starter. He goes, no, and I have to look at the teeth on the starter on the gear, so we can turn and put it on time. And he gave me a bunch of details, and I said, all right, all right. So I'll do what I can. We still gotta install the hoses for the oil that goes underneath, and I see a little bit of problem there. I kind of got ticked off, and I said, dude, you blew it. The engine is hanging 3 feet off the base. That's the time to connect the hoses, tighten it up, and then you settle, because it's about that much gap underneath. And I don't know if it's going to be able to get his hands under there. So I think that's going to be an issue. There's going to be a problem with that. Uh, I guess he was in a hurry, but that's the main thing and then also the dipstick. We rotated the stick on one side, and I told him tighten it, but I didn't see him doing it because I went to the truck to get the bases for the brackets, and for the base of the engine, the brackets. So we attached those while it was hanging. Uh, what else? And then he scooted it up, and by the time I got back, he was already tightening it against the tranny. I said, well, all right. The crane already lifted the chain and moved it away, and because I had to go and park outside, so it's quite a yard. It's big. Anyways, this is a JR Unlimited. It's got a good aroma. Yeah. But now drinking that green stuff and I'm smoking a cigar, it tastes kind of funny. So Um, I'm going to answer someone's question. He saw one of my backpacking videos and he asked me, "Do I take a bear can for that area?" And the answer is no. You take a gun. Now, for the people that are pro bear spray, which is fine with me, I don't care what you do with your life. How you going to protect it? But imagine that you're in the tent, and I wrote to him and I said, if the bear's going to attack you, he's going to attack you while you're in the tent at night. He's, you know, a lot of people think that this bear's going to come at you and I don't know, we're running, and you know, the bear's sniffing around for food unless you're carrying a piece of deer with you, you know, a leg or you know, quarter or half a deer, and he smells it, he might want to jump you. Okay, that could happen. I've never heard of that happening to any hunter. Uh, the bear, most of the attacks happen when you're sleeping in the tent. So let's say you're in your tent. Let me empty this thing. And the bear shows up, and you have a bear spray. What are you going to do? You're going to spray through the wall? Are you going to come out and face the bear? And then you're going to see how big he is. And the bear's not going to stand there and say, look at me. The bear, he sees you out of the tent, he's going to jump you right away. And you have to react accordingly, right? Either run or spray him, and you're hoping for the spray to work. No. My suggestion, and I tell this to everybody, my suggestion is, okay, the gun's empty. Don't want to hear any bull. My suggestion is if the bear's going around your tent sniffing and he's trying to grab you through the tent material, that's happened all the time, and they drag you out and they kill you. This is what you need, because you can shoot through the tent walls at the bear. So if you see a big bulge pushing here, you just go boom, 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 shoot him in the face and the head, whatever part of the body. Even if he's backed up into it and he's got his butt into the tent, you shoot his ass. Not with the spray. The spray is like if you're walking on a trail, let's say, and the bear is on the same trail coming towards you, and now the decision is who gets off the trail, the bear or the human. Well, the bear is going to want to be on that trail because he's done that trail millions of times. That's his path, right? So what you do is you try to move away. But if the bear moves away with you, in other words, he's following you, then you pull out your. If you think the bear's not that aggressive, you spray him, right? You go, psst, and let's see what happens. But always have a backup. I'm not going to rely on a spray can that could jam and clog or whatever. I mean, I just returned a can of spray of primer because they keep clogging and it doesn't work. And I'm going, you know, I'm spending money, and these companies they don't come up with a reliable tip. You know, something that you can put through and clean it after you're done or whatever. You know, maybe have a little insert in the back of the trigger of the spray tip that you can put an air hose and blow it, right? They should do something like that to keep that tip clean so it doesn't clog. No, you go through half a can and then the other half is wasted because you can't use the tip is clogged. Then I've cleaned them and I put them on paint remover. I let them soak overnight. I try to blow it with a compressor. I try to put a needle. Nothing works. And I got fed up and I said, you know what? I'm returning the can because cans are not reliable. Same thing with a bear can. I'm not gonna defend my life with a bear can. Are you kidding me? Against a hungry bear. All right. So that's not gonna happen. So if you're in a tent at night, and that happened to a friend of mine. He did the Dulce Ursham Trail. He was above 10,000 feet, and there were several guys in camp. Everybody sleeping in their tent, and this bear shows up and starts sniffing around the tent, and he got scared. because he didn't have a gun, and the bear just went, he's sniffing around, he's looking for food, and he asked me because he was thinking of buying a 9 millimeter, and he asked me, Ray, you think a 9 millimeter will stop a bear? And I said, well, I always joke with him. I said, make sure that the gun does not have a scope on it. And he goes, why? And I said, because if you shoot a bear with a 9 millimeter, it's going to hurt less when he gets it away from you and sticks it up your butt because of that scope. Because you don't shoot a bear with a 9 millimeter. You need a minimum of 357, a 10 millimeter, a 44, a 454 Cazul, magnums, etc. And you're not going to shoot a bear with a spray can in the tent. That's most likely where the bear's going to attack you, is in the tent. It's happened many times. Many times. There was a guy up in Alaska fishing game. He was hunting, deer hunting, and this grizzly showed up out of the brush, really close, and he just emptied the gun and put another clip in it. He had a 7 mag. I think he had a BAR like mine. And he shot it and shot it and shot it until the bear died. And then when they opened him up, they found a leg in it with a shoe because he jumped a hiker. Those are the grizzlies. If you're hunting, you have a rifle, but the chances of you defending yourself with the rifle, and I've said it before, the bear can just snap that out of your hands. You need a handgun. You need something on you. If he tosses you around, the gun is rolling with you. And whenever you have a chance to grab it, you pull it out and you use it. Not a can. So you need a handgun. So now, what I did is I ordered a new box of Buffalo Boar hardcast, they're lead. And I thought lead was too soft, but these are they made for this, they make it hard. So it says heavy 357 Magnum Outdoorsman. It goes 1,400 feet per second, which is very fast. And it has 783 foot-pounds of energy. And the bullet is 180 grain. And it's $36 for 20 bullets. And I'm going, whoa, it's a little rich. But this, if you're going hunting, that guy that asked me, should I take a bear can and stuff? And I said, well, it's up to you. This is the right bullet to take if you have a 357 Magnum, or if you have a 44 Magnum. You get the Outdoorsman hard cast. And I'm not going to go to the range and shoot this because it fits perfect. And the reason I put it in, let me put the rest of them, see how this, because I saw a video of a guy that he had a semi-auto, and the semi-auto, when he would put the bullet in, the bullet would only go in that deep. This was sticking out, right? And he wasn't happy with it. And I said, well, maybe if you have a die, you can kind of reseat them or do something, or send them back, because the gun is not going to function. So this fits perfectly. The revolver, I keep saying, the revolver is the most reliable gun to be hunting with. To defend yourself, 9mm or 380 or even a 38 semi-auto is fine, because now you're dealing with another person. If they're shooting at you, and well, you want the gun to be reliable too. You just because it's not a bear. But when you're in bear country, you need something that is, it's going to work. It's going to harm the bear or kill it. And there's a higher percentage of survival that if you have a semi-auto, they could jam on a bullet that it will not fit the gun. This thing, they're perfect. So you have to check your gun. Let me empty it. You have to check your gun, uh, and I don't know if I'm gonna go shoot it because I'm shooting the 357, 158, and maybe when I go to the range, maybe I'll take like three because I don't want to waste $36 worth of very good made bullets. Uh, as far as accuracy and distance, this is not the type of gun for that. This is a defense gun. When the bear is jumping you at close range, you're not going to shoot a bear at 50 yards, and you're going to see if I can hit it. No. By the time you pull out the gun, the bear is on you within 10 feet, and that's where these bullets come in. They don't have to be that. I don't know if they're accurate. I haven't really looked into it. But if you're going to shoot a bear approaching you, and if the bear's not aggressive, he's just kind of curious and he's sniffing to see if you're carrying any food. If you do carry, if you have some food on you or a sandwich or something, then you're in trouble. But if the bear's curious and is within 30 feet, or you just stand your ground. Don't back up. You stand your ground and let him see. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see what he's going to do. If he keeps coming at you, then you take your gun out and say, okay, 10 feet, that's close enough, and boom, you start shooting, because that means he's going to get closer and jump you. Some bears are kind of sneaky. They kind of come in and they seem to it makes it look like they're going to just sniff you and stuff. No, they don't sniff for the sake of it. They sniff because they want to bite. When a bear's hungry, they don't care what he's attacking. He's attacking a human or an animal. He's going to go for it. So the bear count is the last thing I would do on a hunt. This is a hollow point, which is not the best, but if it's the only thing you got to use it. Okay, but I bought that to have it on me because I always had in the back of my mind, I got hollow points, and I'm walking in the woods, and I'm thinking I got hollow points, and they're not exactly the best thing for a bear. So now this last place I hunted. Oh wow, it didn't go out. Good. It's close. This last place I hunted is close to a meadow. It's a big, huge meadow. It's known for having bears. A lot of bears. Sometimes you see 4, 5, and then they spread out and they start going into the hills. And I'm hunting close to that meadow. When I say close, I'm talking a mile and a half, around there. And a bear can walk that, no problem. They can just show up where you are, and then now you got a bear in front of you. So that's the reason I carried 357. I was carrying also the 45 auto, but the 45 auto could do the job, but I had regular lead bullets, and I said, if I'm going to carry something, I want more punch. This puts out 1,400 pounds, 1,400 feet per second. The 45 puts out, 850, 870 max. So I said, no, I'm going to buy the Buffalo Bore for the 357, not the 45. Because you want to make sure you have the tools for the job. If the bear shows up and he means business, you mean business. You got to have the right tool. Don't be guessing. Now I heard that some people have killed bears with a 45. Some guy in Alaska, he had a Kimber, I think it was, and he shot a bear with 45 ammo. Well, I don't know what kind of 45. I'm pretty sure he probably had buffalo bore. You're not going to shoot it with a regular lead bullet, you know, or a hollow point or a round nose or anything like that. You need to have the advantage. There are two advantages of this: the flat tip, which breaks bones, and the lead is supposed to be hard cast, so it's not gonna disintegrate when it hits the bear. The only disadvantage on this caliber is the diameter. It's not a 45. This is a 38 diameter. So, but it is what it is. And you have a gun that shoots 6, you can get a gun that shoots 8 revolver. So that's the deal on that. But I'm gonna send this video to this guy that he was asking, because he's gonna hunt the area that I showed in my video, which is an X10. Now, I heard of an attack by a bear back in there. I've never had that issue. I've never seen a bear back in there. Some people have, but I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna make it up. So, but I know that there's some bears in the area because it's a huge, gigantic territory, you know, and they can go up and down the mountains and come in through here, come in through there. They're constantly searching what to eat. Oh God! And they're supposed to eat my lunch. We'll see. I got my mechanic, the truck mechanic. When he showed up, immediately I saw him and I'm going, whoa, you lost some weight. Because he had a punch, you know, he had a gut. And I said, what you do? He says, I'm drinking the celery and the, you know, the ginger and the spinach and all this stuff. And I said, okay, I'll try it. And my girl, she's also going to try it too. See if it does any. And the thing he told me is I drink that for breakfast, and then I can have anything I want to eat during the day. He says, I eat the same stuff. And I said, how can that work if you're eating the same stuff? If you're eating fatty foods, you know, fatty tacos or something, how come one glass of that a day is going to make you lose weight? I said, well, I'll try it. And I'm trying to eat less fatty stuff. So anyways, so that's what I recommend. I know I jumped back. That's what I recommend. The buffalo bore. I always was curious. I've seen the guy that promotes it, the owner. He talks about it, and I've heard about it too. Chuck's Outdoors Adventure, I think it is. Yeah, he has a lot of videos about it, talking about buffalo boar, and that's what he carries. 44 and different calibers here. 10 millimeter. He's a big guy in 10 millimeter. So, all right, guys. So I'll let you go, and I'll finish my cigar. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.